stress can be a good thing in the sense that it brings urgency and can elevate focus. However, when stress builds up over time, which it does, the effects are incredibly negative. But the good news is that it's a lot easier to manage stress than you actually might think. There is, in fact, a very simple solution that can have a massively positive impact on your life and your well-being, and it takes less than 60 seconds to implement. I'm not kidding, less than 60 seconds, that's all. And when you repeat this simple strategy consistently over time, you'll find that your stress levels will not only be manageable, you will bring them to a very healthy minimum, almost non-existent. Now, the reality is we all experience stress. Nobody's immune. In fact, an estimated 8.3 million American adults experience negative effects from stress. Chances are you are one of those. You are potentially unaware as to how much stress you're actually dealing with. Living with stress in today's fast, high-pressure world secretly becomes our daily norm. It becomes our standard. We simply get used to it. And we get through each day, 1 hour at a time, without truly taking inventory as to our well-being, until it's too late. And why do we get so stressed in the first place? Well, according to the American Psychological Association of America, money and work are the two top sources of significant stress. But it does come in endless forms, and it impacts us all in different ways and to different degrees. The sad reality is we experience one or more of these stress triggers on a daily basis, all day, every day. It's unbelievable the type of stress that we accumulate throughout our day, throughout our lives. How do we minimize our stress and live healthier and happier lives as a result? I believe that prevention is the best remedy. How do we prevent? We do that by creating daily behaviors that minimize the buildup of stress. That, for me, is the ultimate solution. Handling your stress begins by making sure that you are aware of, 1, your stress levels, how stressed are you? 2, be conscious or aware of what is causing you that stress. And then 3, once you know what causes you the stress, take a deeper step and then try to understand why. Why are those elements causing you stress? Now, handling those 3 steps that I just mentioned, that's not the 60-second strategy or solution. Those 3 key elements that I just mentioned, they do take time. It's like building a foundation. Once you've built the foundation, everything else that you build, the strategy, then becomes easier to add or implement. So once you are aware of your stress levels, once you understand what causes you the stress, then now you have to understand why they cause you the stress. And then the next step, and then here you've got 2 options. Then it's time to come up with a plan to either A, remove yourself from the situation that's causing you the stress, or view that situation from a different perspective, a different lens, and then put in the emotional and the mental work to shift your attitude in regards to that situation. This is easier said than done. This is hard work. This is not going to take 60 seconds, by the way. But the one simple 60-second strategy that I want to share is a lot easier than taking months to do the internal work to shift your perspective. Though I still highly recommend doing the long-term work to eliminate stress from your life and be healthier and happier. I'm going to say that again. Despite the 60-second solution that I'm going to share in a minute, which is a quick and simple fix, I still encourage, I recommend that you do the long-term, the deep work in regards to building a healthier and more positive perspective and attitude. That is going to take time. Now, the great news about this simple 60-second strategy is that you can do it, you can implement it anywhere and at any given moment. 60 seconds. And it serves as a part of a prevention plan, and it's also a part of the healing or the recovery option that comes after the stress has gotten the better of you. So before we get to that simple 60-second strategy, let's take a quick look at how stress actually works, in particular when we allow it to build up, which most of us do, including myself, by the way. To highlight the impact of long-term stress, or chronic stress, I'm going to share a great metaphor that illustrates what happens when we allow stress to build up. And I wish I could give credit to the author of this example, but apparently they're unknown. Though I've read many blogs and articles, and I've actually seen several videos that reference this great illustration, but I can't give the person that credit. But it's such a valuable insight, a valuable visual to understand the impact of stress over time. So here's a glass. Now, don't get ahead of me. You might expect me to ask if the glass is half full or half empty. Haha. I'm not going to ask that question. Instead, what I'm going to do is ask a much more relevant and meaningful question in the context of stress. So let me ask you this. How heavy do you think this glass is? The average guess is between 9 to 20 ounces. To be honest, I actually have no idea how much this glass weighs. The absolute weight of this glass is irrelevant, insignificant, has no bearing whatsoever on where I'm going with this. It's more a question of what is the relative weight of the water-filled glass. So we've got the absolute weight and we've got the relative weight of the glass. What's the difference? What does that actually mean? What it means is this. The defining element of this glass and its weight is not how much it weighs, but rather how long I have to hold it, and also how I hold it. So for example, if I hold the glass with a straight arm at shoulder height for a couple of minutes, no big deal. It's only 9 to 20 ounces. But what happens if I hold the glass extended like this with my arm out straight for an hour? After 60 minutes, I'm going to have an ache. My arm's going to get tight. My shoulder's going to hurt. If I hold it for a day, you better call an ambulance. But in each case, the weight of the water, the absolute weight, is the same. But the longer I hold it, the heavier it becomes. In fact, I'm already feeling it right now. But that is what happens in regards to stress in life. That's how stress works. It gets heavier and tougher over time when we don't handle it, minimize it, address it. The longer we carry the glass, or the longer we carry stress, the heavier, the more depleting it becomes. And again, that's what we do in life. And my arm's getting pretty depleted right now. But we carry our burdens. We carry our shame. We carry our guilt. We carry our worry. We do it for days, weeks. We do it for months. We carry it for years. And sooner or later, it becomes unbearable. We snap. We compromise our health. We compromise our drive. We dilute our clarity because we're focusing on the glass. We diminish our peace of mind. Our decision-making goes out the window. Our relationships suffer. At work, we become a bad colleague, a bad boss, mean, moody. And I don't even want to say what we become at work, but in terms of a boss, we all know what we feel when we have a bad boss and the words that we want to use to describe them. But it compromises our work. It compromises our family relationships, our loved ones. All because we carry the stress. We carry the glass for too long. The relative weight of this glass will compromise the very essence of who you are, of who I am, and our output in life. So to prevent my arm from dropping off, it might be wise to put down the glass, or what I did earlier on is give myself a break. But to not get tired and to not hurt or not risk injury, I should put the glass down often and regularly. I need to rest my arm. I need to rest my mind, rest my spirit, my soul. Give my heart a break, give my emotions a break. And while I'm taking the rest, recuperating, I also need to be working on the strengthening so that I can hold the glass longer. That's what I meant earlier on about attitude. Do the work. You've got to do the work, and that does take time. But make a habit, make a lifestyle, make that a part of your lifestyle to put down the glass regularly. It takes so much effort to carry stress. So how do we fix that stress? How do we lower our stress levels? There are endless ways. Take vacations, do yoga, sports. For some of you, that might be a glass of beer instead of a glass of water. Wine, alcohol can help with stress. For others, it might be weed, a good joint, CBD, sex, chocolate, Belgian chocolate. But the options are endless, whatever works for you. But the most simple and effective way, and this technique I'm about to share can be achieved anywhere, at any given time. It takes less than 60 seconds. In fact, it takes 5 seconds. That's how easy this strategy is. I call it enhanced breathing. Some people will say it's called intentional breathing. It gets into the realm of mindfulness. It's even a part of meditation. In fact, it is meditation. Call it meditation. It's a form of meditation. Enhanced breathing. It's a very simple and effective way of meditating, of being mindful, because the concept of meditation and mindfulness can be overwhelming, because it's often associated, well, I've got to climb to the top of the mountain, and I'm going to zen out for 40 days, and I've got to sit in a certain position, and I'm going to fast, and I've got to make sure that my mind is free of thought. It's too complicated. This is simple. Enhanced breathing is done in 10 seconds, in 5 seconds, but with 60 seconds is good, because you're going to repeat the 5-second enhanced breathing over and over again. But you're going to shift your attitude, your mindset just like that. Enhanced breathing means taking one simple, intentional breath. You focus on the inhale, and then you release your stress, your tension via the exhale. And that exhale can be a gentle sigh. It can have more intensity. You can purse your lips, tighten your lips, and literally blow. It can also become a scream. Yell into a pillow. Exhale into a pillow. That felt pretty good. But inhale with intention and exhale with even more intention. Let go of the stress. Eliminate the stress intentionally. Now, have you actually ever seen anybody exhale or sigh in relief, or because they were afraid? Or because something happened and you kind of, oh, good Lord. Amen. Thank God for that. That's enhanced breathing. It's an exhale. They do it to vent an extreme emotion. You'll also see athletes, they do it all the time. They breathe, they relax, they inhale, they exhale, great intention, they focus, they enhance their breathing before the big play. It gets them focused, it gets them relaxed. It's that simple. Enhanced breathing. One simple breath. Inhale with intention, exhale with intention. And to optimize the intention, you repeat the one simple intentional breath. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 10, you can do it for an hour. But the key is to do it often throughout the day. But it starts with one intentional breath. Enhanced breathing. You've got this. That felt pretty good.